The evil of ZANU-PF family continues to be exposed in Zimbabwe. We have gotten to levels where not even one individual around our neighboring countries, SADC, may not confess that they do not know the kind of lawlessness that Zimbabwe is. ZANU-PF and under Emerson Mnangagwa have become worse when it comes to human rights abuses. They've become the worst ever breakers of the law in Zimbabwe. Constitutionalism and rule of law has been thrown into the dustbin in Zimbabwe. We are now seeing a government that is so illegal, and that is operating from rules that are coming from hell. Jameson Timba and others get a raw deal on sentencing from Mnangagwa courts. Once again, as we have always been saying in the past days, that we still are wondering what it is really with Mnangagwa over the issue of Jameson Timba. What it is that these people really have done, that Mnangagwa has become so vindictive and so angry that he has decided to punish them so brutally. We are looking at a situation where we are seeing these people being punished unnecessarily, having stayed for more than 170 days in prison without any charge, with the courts playing games, right? Where you hear that a magistrate is flu, where you hear that the magistrate is not showed up, where you hear quite some flimsy excuses that will be given just to make sure that they are taken back to remand prison until they get over 170 days. Just imagine. And now we have seen in the past court session that has just happened, them being found guilty. And after being found guilty, now sentencing has to happen. We now want to hear what they have to say, what the courts will have to say, and how they are going to consider the days that these people have been in remand, because they will have to consider those days. Most of these non-existent crimes that Mnangagwa is just trying to hand down over the people that he deems his enemies, they are not even constitutional. And you wonder where they will even get the sentence to give, because it's not even part of the legal process. And we are, while everyone is waiting to see how the days that they spent in prison are ever going to be considered, now the courts again, Mnangagwa's courts, begin again playing some games and some tricks just to want to delay them over and over. Why should they continue to delay after they have been found guilty? Just the sentencing. Why not just give them a sentence? Because they know and they understand that these are people that have not committed any crime. These are innocent people, and the crime that they are being leveled against does not exist. And that is what is making them jittery when it comes now to facing the reality of the law. That's why they are playing games. And we don't know till when they will continue to play games. And Mnangagwa being Mnangagwa, he can play again an extra set of games again, to the point that you could see these people staying even more than a month before they can get their sentencing. Because like we have always been saying, that it is so surprising really what it is that Mnangagwa has against Timba and the other group. What really that they've done. What kind of information was given to Mnangagwa about that meeting which was supposed to happen at Jameson Timba's house? I don't know what information he was given, whether he was misled, whether there's somebody who has got an agenda, who is next to Mnangagwa, who has an agenda with Timba, or whatever it is. We have seen the ruthlessness of ZANU-PF when it came to this group. From the day of their arrest up to today, we have seen the brutality, with some who had broken legs being refused to go for medical treatment, with some a lady who lost her own child while she was in prison being refused opportunity to go for the burial of her own child. Just imagine. Such kind of evil and such kind of brutality is just way beyond humanity. If really we are still humans, we must have some conscience still working in us that could also remind us that we are still human beings. We must also have empathy for other people, sympathy for other people. We must also know that other people also go through the same pain that we go through. Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF, they want to stay in the comfort. They want to stay protected. They are so quick to protect themselves. They are cowards when it comes to anything that could affect them. We have seen when Mnangagwa's son Kudakwase had his house burnt and threats were made against him, bullets left at the doorways, Mnangagwa was quick to jump and to want to protect his son, and even threatening those people that were deemed to be doing the same acts. So when it comes to their own safety and life, they are so quick to want to protect themselves, and yet they don't care about the protection, the safety, and the comfort of other people. How selfish people can be. This level of selfishness is really beyond the beyond. Our fight is that we must continue to put pressure. As Zimbabwean people, we have to fight to free Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is under bondage. Zimbabwe is under oppression. Zimbabwe is under prison. It's imprisoned by men and women that are used by evil. Because the kind of evil that we see in Zimbabwe, we don't see it in other countries that are surrounding us. It is the worst evil that anyone can ever imagine. We can't have a government that is so ruthless, that is so brutal, that is so careless, worse than the apartheid regime that we saw in South Africa. This really is sad and pathetic. Life in Zimbabwe is unbearable. Life in Zimbabwe is pain after pain. Life in Zimbabwe, people failing to have food on their tables, clothes on their bodies, to fail to have a roof over their head, and yet we have a government that is stealing billions and billions. Mnangagwa talks about billions he brought from China to put into the ZESA utility, and yet now the country has been plunged into darkness. So what happened to the money? Again, these are monies that they are borrowing in the name of the state, and they squander the money. You wonder where the money has gone to. Till when shall we continue as Zimbabwean people to suffer under the hand of Emerson Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF? It is high time that we rise up as Zimbabwe. It is high time that we demand freedom for the Zimbabwean people. It is high time we stand in the gap to pray for the intervention of God in our nation, because where we are right now and where we stand right now, things are never going to improve. We can never expect Zimbabwe to be better as long as we have these people in control. We can never expect Zimbabwe to work ever again as long as Mnangagwa is in control of the situation. Our God is watching. Our God is in it. Freedom for Zimbabwe is coming. And our prayers are that let the will of the Lord, the will to free the people of Zimbabwe, happen in our lifetime. And it's going to happen very soon. Look at how God is exposing Mnangagwa, how he's being embarrassed around nations of SADC and the whole world to show what kind of human being he is. And definitely he's going to go down in this season. There is no way Mnangagwa is going to survive the wind of change that is blowing. Family, I want to continue to say, let's continue to pray. Let's stand in the gap. Let's stand for Zimbabwe, protect Zimbabwe, fight for Zimbabwe until victory is certain. A luta continua until we shall be free. Thank you so much for joining me on the show. Let's continue to support this platform. This platform, Live with Chatufa, is a sister platform to our main channel. Let's continue to support it. Let's subscribe if you are new. Also join in so we can continue to spread the gospel out there of the freedom of the Zimbabwean people. Remain blessed. Shalom and shalom.